Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome. Sorry for being like 5 or 6 minutes late, but we're here now. And thank you, girls. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome, Buki, and welcome, Chineye. I really appreciate your time as always. Um, so before we go ahead, just quickly introduce yourself. I think I'll start with Chineye. So guys, introduce yourself, and then everyone will um know who we're talking to.
Okay. My name is Chineye Humphrey, and uh, I am in Germany right now. I came in about a year and a few months ago. Um, yeah, to meet my husband. Yeah, that's it. Be a family reunion visa. So yeah, I don't know if there's more to the introduction.
Very important. That part is very important.
Yeah.
Okay, so Buki,
Oh,
let's
hi
get to meet
everyone.
you too.
Yeah, my name is Buki
Hi.
Kadri. Known as the Bukola Kadri channel on YouTube. Like I also came to Germany through family reunion visa 2 years and 2 months ago.
Ha
um,
ha ha.
yeah, in a nutshell, that's it.
It's I also like the fact that you guys are not it's not like super long ago that you came to Germany on the same visa, so the information is still fresh.
Mhm. It'll be
As
similar.
it's way. So it's cool.
Mhm.
Sorry, you said?
I said the information would be similar. The information would be the
Yeah,
same,
yeah.
almost the same, yeah.
Feel nice. Hopefully. But most important thing is that the information is relevant to those who might be looking to move to Germany soon via the family reunion visa. Now, a lot of times when we talk about the family reunion visa, let's start from the basics. Let's start with what it is and who is eligible to apply. So I'll say, Buki, you start with what the family reunion visa is and who is eligible to apply. And then the next question, maybe Chinaya will take the next question.
Okay, so first of all, let me confirm the way I'm looking at you right because I want to be sure I'm not looking somewhere else and I'm getting it looks like I'm looking at you
Yes.
right. Okay, that's because my camera is somewhere else. Yeah.
Yes, you are.
So the family reunion visa is just basically a visa that allows, the spouses of either the citizens of Germans or a person who lives foreigner in Germany or a resident of Germany who lives in Germany. The visa allows them to join their family members, here, and it could be mother, father, son, wife, husband. Yeah, basically, the visa allows you to join your family members, residents or citizen in Germany.
Cool. It's a lot of times when people talk about family reunion, a lot of times people only limit it at least mentally to just
Mm.
husband and wife. So it's good to know that it also includes kids,
Yeah.
close relatives, of course,
Yeah.
and things like that. So it doesn't. It's not just limited to only a husband or
Mhm.
a wife. And I think we have alongside covered who is eligible for that. So I'll go on to the next question, and that's for Chine. What are the key requirements for bringing family members to Germany beyond being a citizen or being a resident in Germany?
Okay. Generally, there you have to be you have to be employed, or you have to be able to cater for whoever it is that you are bringing in. And I really don't know the if there's a particular gross or net salary requirement. I don't know the figures. And also, you would um, just like you said, be an EU citizen or a resident. For Germany, you also have to have a blue card or be eligible to have a blue card. There are also situations where students can bring in their spouses or relatives, mostly spouses. And what else? the person that is applying, that is the applicant, has to also meet some requirements as well. There are documents that you must be able to submit to the embassy, and the list and the list of documents are found in the websites of the German embassy for Nigeria. Because if you check the website, there are other requirements for, say, Congo, Ghana. So if you want to, I mean, find out more information, you have to put in the country that um you are going from, you're coming from, rather. And also, yeah, there are some instances where you would have to have a proficiency in speaking the language, at least the basis A1 um, of German language. And there are some other instances where that requirement is covered for, especially when the resident or the person in Germany is a citizen, or that the person has a blue card. And what else? I think these are like the general requirements. Every other requirement will depend on what it is and why you are coming in, how you are coming in, and those informations are specific to whatever it is, and you will always find it on the website, or you know, yeah, that's it.
Muki, do you have any extra thing to add to it?
I think that's generally it. If you have if your spouse or your partner or whoever you're coming to meet has an EU blue card visa, most times they don't need the language requirements. For me, I thought I would need the language, so I was already learning German and all of that. But eventually, because eventually, so my learning German, because I was learning with Gothi when I was in Nigeria. I was doing a virtual class. I also had to work, and that same year that I started the German class, I also had to prepare for my wedding. Yeah, so it was a lot on me, and then they, because of their mistake as well, I didn't start the class on time and all of those things. So I was really worried, but then later on I got to know that I didn't really need the language, and when I went for the interview I didn't need the language. So also they wouldn't need to collect some things from you, like, verification fees, for instance. i
Mhm.
I went with the money, which was a requirement online, but when I went with the money, they didn't even have to take it from me. However, the visa fee was, collected, but they didn't have to take that money, so I returned. But I know that, people who don't have that kind of visa category, for instance, would have to prove that they can speak language A1 and pay for those kind of things. So yeah, she has said everything basically. Generally, that's it. Every other thing, as with Germany, every other thing would then be individualized.
Exactly.
I also wanted to add as well that because now we have mentioned blue card a couple of times. It's also to add that it's not only blue card holders that can bring in people into Germany. Even if you don't have the blue card, you can still bring your spouse in. You can still, my God, you can still bring your spouse in.
Yeah.
How However, of course, you have to be earning up to something reasonable, that at least that the government considers reasonable, that you can take care of two people. So, for example, if you're working a part time or a mini job, say you're earning, let's say, let's use the minimum about, say, 400, 500 euros per month, no one's going to approve for you to be able to bring your family over with that kind of a
Mhm.
salary.
Yeah.
So, but if you're earning the regular salary, all of this will be dependent on the city that you're living in, of course, and all that. So, the person who is the spouse who is in Germany needs to go get the exact figures from their
Mhm.
Ausländer Behörde. But generally, if you have a proper job, if it's not a part-time job, generally you should be able to bring in somebody with that. Secondly, the language thing, yes, Buki had said that if your partner doesn't have a blue card, you will have to come with an A1 German at
Yeah.
least. But
At
if the
least.
partner has a blue card, yes, partner has a blue card, you don't have to do that. The law covers you
Um,
that
yeah,
Also,
you can
if
avoid the
you're coming to meet a German, for instance, you don't need it. Although when you get into the country, you would then need it.
you have
I mean,
to
if
exactly.
you come here, you need it to at least communicate. And I think,
communicates. Yeah,
I think citizenship for those kind of people
Easier.
is easier. I think.
yeah.
Um,
If your spouse is a German, yeah,
German, yeah.
yes, if your spouse is German,
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. If
So,
your
but
spouse is
then,
German, you are just a few steps away from being German.
Exactly.
Yeah, just a
but
few
then
steps
you
away.
sometimes you still need some requirements. I think
Yeah.
German. I think work. I don't know. I'm not sure about that detail, but they must have been married for 2 years or more. They must,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
you still need to meet certain requirements, but they are
Yeah,
not as hectic as someone who's just starting
oh,
to the
true.
process to becoming a citizen. Yeah, so of
Yeah.
course you need to meet up, especially the language thing and all that and all that. Okay, so great that we have this part. Another part that you guys didn't quite talk about, I don't know if this is not the case for everyone. The
Mm.
things that are required from the spouse
The
who is
spouse, yeah.
outside of the
Wanted to
country.
mention
So
that.
yes. So what are those things that are required of that person? Because I understand that sometimes they
Yeah.
even go to find out if, for example, people are married, they want to go and know your secondary school, your primary school, your this one,
Yeah.
your neighbors, your all
Is
your
this for the
That
relatives in the
is
spouse
community.
in Germany or the spouse coming to join?
The
coming
spouse
to
coming to Germany. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
For
well.
me,
Mm.
uh, so like I said, the verification fee, which I think that's what the money is for, to check all those things, because I've heard of it. And I remember somebody had mentioned also that in, where is he from? I can't remember his country, another African country, and they had gone to check all these things. They went to check, they sent a lawyer and all of those things, so
Yeah.
they actually do check those things. I don't know for Chine if they checked for her, but I know that because they didn't ask for that verification fee, they didn't collect that verification, so I imagine that they didn't need to go through all that for me, but usually they do it for people. I know a few people who uh went through that.
Yeah. Okay. I think
Yeah.
that what you just described has more to do with the verification process. So let's say you have to do the verification process, you would need to, after paying, I mean, the verification fee is to enable them to get a lawyer to be able to, carry on the process. And the lawyer has to verify every document that you have produced. So if you, let's say for instance, you had your secondary school education in the south, you went to secondary school, primary school education in the south, went to secondary school in the north, and did your university in the west. That means the lawyer is going to go to all the different states or geopolitical
Mm.
zones that your school or whatever certification you had, you know is covered. And they also have to verify, yeah, one other thing I didn't mention, um, is part of the list of things that you have to bring are your evidence, your court marriage certificate. That's the most
Documents, yeah.
yeah, the most qualified document to prove that you are married, say for married couples. And you will have to present it and present pictures of yourself with your family, picture, I mean, backdating to when you were younger, pictures of your spouse, I mean, the wedding pictures and pictures, other random pictures. You have to print it out and give to them. And I mean, after a while, for me, they took it, but when they were returning my passport with the visa, they returned everything back. And what else? There are some little things, just like Buki said, some things are individualized depending on when you. So most of the time, when you have to have a lawyer to get back to you, I mean, I think there's a question related to this. There's a time limit or time duration. That's for the next question. Then for the person that is here in Germany, there are also other requirements I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
You have to show a proof of your registration in the city where you're living, your the kind of house you live in, it has to be able to accommodate the both of you. If it's just, I
Yeah.
mean, one person coming in, there's a particular square meter, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Then you have to also prove your salary, send
Mhm.
a what they call it, your
Your
account
payslip.
statements, payslip,
Mm.
yeah, they are, I think just five. I think it depends on the city and the kind of work you're doing. So yeah, basically that's it.
It's a lot of hassle, to be honest. I always feel
Mhm.
like people that are doing family reunion visa, they're going through a lot. They are going through a
Yeah.
lot.
Wait,
Because
it doesn't take as
documentation.
much if you want to study in Germany. Does it not take as much?
No, if you're studying in Germany, no, 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 nobody cares
Wow.
where you went to. Nobody cares all those things. You
Wow.
just get your admission. That's the important thing. And bring your blocked account. Show them that you can take care of yourself. Finish. They
Hmm.
don't need any other extra thing. The hassle, of course, is in getting the admission where you will submit your
Yeah.
Yeah.
certificate and all those things. But it's just the basic thing. So it's not usually as hectic when people are coming to school, but if you're coming
Mm.
to as a family member, I just feel like the stress is
Yeah.
crazy. Okay,
Can be
someone
a
has
lot.
there are already a few. Okay, so there are a few questions already in the comments. So I'll just before I go back to the questions we have on ground already, I
Okay.
will try and touch on a few of these questions and hopefully we can answer them because okay.
Yeah.
So somebody said uh, okay, so I'm just going to jump this first question. I think that one is not a question. The question now is Destined for Greatness said, what is the waiting time for appointment time for family reunion? How long before my spouse and daughter can get an appointment? Do you have any information on that or any? I'm so sorry, I'm belching.
You
Do you have
know.
any information on that in terms of um, waiting
Mm.
time?
I
Because right now, as far as we know, well, the
yeah.
waiting times are crazy, to be honest, especially
Yeah.
for family
Getting
reunion,
higher.
and especially for those in the sub-Saharan region. It
Oh,
is
yeah.
at least as of recent time,
Mm-hmm.
in very recent time. Let's say last year, this year,
Yeah.
it's waiting times have been crazy. Actually, as at early this week, someone I was speaking to someone who was coming for a family who is trying to do like family reunion for their wife, and I was told the waiting time is between 22 to 24 months of
Mm.
waiting as
Is
of
the person
right now.
Nigerian?
Yes, the
Mhm.
person is in Nigeria.
It's
So
gotten
from
higher.
the site, it's getting longer. Yes,
Longer rather,
from the
yeah.
site now. This is waiting time
To
before you
get an
get an appointment
appointment.
date.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not after the waiting time to get an appointment date. Then after the appointment date,
Hmm.
you still have a couple of, I think,
No, wow.
almost 4 months, give or take.
Hmm.
More than that sometimes,
So in
actually.
2 weeks, you said what?
It can be more than 4 months, actually.
About so you see. So let us even say everything takes about say 22 months for waiting, about say 6 months
Mm.
for getting the
Yeah.
visa. So something about that. It takes a lot of time. However, some people somehow are just lucky,
Mhm.
and they just go sharp, 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 sharp. Everything just people like Wookie. Wookie, give us your gist.
Oh
Very
my!
good.
I should have known that
Some
you're
people
coming
it
from.
just it just happens like
They're
miracle.
talking about you.
Um. So hey, God, the waiting time. In fact, I don't know if I should say I'm surprised.
You can't relate, actually.
No, no, no,
I
no. I
cannot
can relate
relate.
though because I remember that so initially we didn't know that appointment time was gonna take up to a year. At
Yeah.
the time it was a year. And I remember I was very reluctant. And my husband had just heard from someone in Germany that, you have to register and all of them. Sorry, you have to book an appointment and all of that. So that was the thing, 1 year wait time. And when I actually went for the interviewer told me that it's actually the 15 months, was it
It's
13 months before you get, I think 13 months before you actually get an appointment, which I think they'll notify you 1 month before your appointment or so. Then, so let's
yeah.
say,
Mhm.
yeah, between 13 to 15 months. So for me, however, I didn't wait that long. To
So,
be honest, it was just God. And I remember I was telling somebody recently that because I had to now wait about maybe 4 months, June, July, August, September. Yes, 4 months
wow.
after.
Yeah, yeah, surprised.
I had to now wait for me
We are
because
not from the
usually,
moon, though.
no. So the thing is,
Wow.
usually,
Mm.
after the appointment, you shouldn't, if there's no issues with your documents, if there's
Mm-hmm.
no issue with your documents, it shouldn't take more than like maybe 3 months. Within 3 months, some
Mm-hmm.
people even answer them within 6 weeks
Six
after
weeks.
the appointment.
Mhm.
But my own was now
Mhm.
taking longer and longer, and I don't know if we'll get talk about documents and why it got longer and longer. So that was why I had to wait extra 4 months. If not, my whole processing would have been like 6 months or so, or 7 months, and
You
I
see,
would have been in Germany.
yeah, I've been here.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
But
Um,
generally, right now, it's taking such a long.
yeah.
What was your experience like, Chineke, for the waiting time and the whole thing?
okay. Okay, well, for me, my husband had a prior knowledge that you have to wait for 1 year for you to have your spouse come in. So before our wedding, he already made the application. So I wanted to even
Ah.
also make that indication that the person that makes the application is the person here in Germany, not the person coming in.
Mhm.
So the person in Germany has to apply to have you in, yeah. So he made the
Mhm.
application about how many months? Say 9 months or 10 months before our wedding. I mean, it
Ah.
was a long distance relationship. Yeah. So he was sure that we are going to have this wedding at so time. So he's like, okay,
Mhm.
let's do this. So we did it, and it saved me that waiting time. That I
Mhm.
mean, my life was still going on. Nothing really was happening, at least from my end. And when it was time, he came in. We did the wedding, and he went back. The court wedding. He came back to Nigeria, and I just needed that court wedding certificate to go for the interview in 3 months time. So
Mhm.
that's how I bought that time. So if this also a cue to people that are planning, I mean, you know that that's what you want to do, but it's not yet in your plans. So if you're sure
Mhm.
about the timeline to your planning, like the end of the time, the end of the timeline, you can go ahead and make the application. There's no limitation online, like in the it for the applicants. How would I put it? There's no
Mhm.
limitation for you, even if you are not certain. There's no document and stuff like that. Just when it's closer to the time and you're not sure, you can also shift it. Just be rest assured that you're going to take another 1 year to
One
wait.
year. Mhm.
Yeah, but apart from that,
Makes sense.
the waiting time for me was 1 year, and exactly 1 year. And I got my appointment dates like 1 month to the end of the 1 year. And yeah,
Mhm.
the visa, after the interview, my visa came in 6 weeks later. And
Mhm.
yeah,
Really
that's it.
quick.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic, fantastic. So different experiences now. Right now, you guys
Yeah,
we've had experience. Actually, this is a very good idea that you shared. Starting very very early before the
yeah.
whole thing, and even for students, that could possibly even work already.
Mm-hmm.
If you're already in your final year, you want to do a master's, you can already just go and make your appointment. And just be
Exactly.
waiting. Bookie, your camera is off. In case you didn't know,
Yeah, yeah,
your
I know.
camera is.
I
Yeah.
know.
Okay, so it's a great thing. So for destined greatness, so that's the reality of it.
So
Right
can I
now,
say
it's
something
not even
about that?
1 year.
About
Yes.
the booking before time? Very great idea, very good. It just that it's tricky with students as well. What if you gain admission before the appointment and the appointment now takes long? It's tricky. I think a person needs to be prayerful. But yeah, like Chine said, once you know that you want to do this, or you have your plans, then just book the appointment. So booking the appointment, does it have to be, because I wanted to be sure, the application is different, but booking the appointments, does it have to be the person there? I think all you need to book an appointment is your passport number, your international passport number, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. So just go ahead and book the appointments, and then yeah, all the rest would follow.
We'll fall through. Fantastic. So thanks. Okay, let me get to the next question. Okay. I'm currently I'm currently in Nigeria. Currently, I'm following German elections. The CDU candidate who is currently lead in the poll is very angry with the family reunion visa. I need more clarification. I'm not aware of it. Are you
Am I in
aware of
politics?
anybody angry?
No,
Well,
I
I think
don't know if
even,
it's
I'm not
family
aware of
reunion
even
visa
if
any
they're
or just
angry,
policies.
immigration generally.
even if they're angry, it
Yeah,
doesn't
lots of
really change
political
anything.
parties are trying to tighten the borders,
Yeah.
tighten
Mhm.
immigration rules and all.
Yeah.
However, there has been no talks on family reunion visa thing as far as I'm aware of. Because when people come from family reunion visa, most often than not, these are not people looking for asylum or trying to,
Mhm.
just make money off the system. Most often than not, their spouses are here, they're making money, they're paying taxes. So this is not essentially a burden. I don't see how immigration can be a problem generally, but they will not just focus on this one
Family
part,
reunion.
at
Mm.
least, yeah, as far as they cannot just say family reunion, we're not doing it again, or students or something. The one that they're kind of looking at really, really putting a tight hold on is
Mhm.
the asylum seekers visa, and those who are,
Refugees.
what's the other thing? What's the other one?
Refugees.
Asylum and one other thing, refugees and
Refugees.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So if that is your worry, that should not be much of your worry. Besides, we don't worry. By February, by the end of the month, we know where we are. We are
And
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
can I even say something? I
Yeah.
also think
Yes,
that
yes.
generally the German system is well structured. So even if somebody has to come up with something new, it's going to take a while. I mean, I don't know how long, but the system is just in such a way that it will not allow. It's not. I don't know if I should use this example. It's not like our system back home where anything can happen. A lot of process. And so, if you're looking at that, I think you should just not worry about it. If you have plans, just go ahead with it. You don't have to look at whatever candidate is thinking. And yeah, that's
As long as your immigration is not illegal,
yeah,
don't worry
exactly.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll
Yeah.
be you'll be all right. Okay. He said he will stop the family reunion visa. Does it mean Germany does not want families in their country? Um, just like we said, John, we've not heard anything about this. And Germany is a country that loves family. They
Yeah.
encourage family. So that's why families get a lot of cuts, tax breaks, things like that. Get a lot of support from the government as much as possible. So Germany is definitely pro family. Okay, next question. Hi, my marriage now is 1 year and 7 months, and my husband, according to him, has applied 15th July 2023, but till now we have not received any appointments.
Mm.
So, going by what we have said now concerning the waiting time, so imagine that you applied by July 2023, so it means that you are about 12, 18 months, you are
18
not
months.
there yet. So
Yeah.
don't, but let me not say you're not there. That sounds inconsiderate. I'm really sorry for using that. But it's still about the time frame that we just talked about. Like it takes about 20, as of right now, it takes about 20 something months before you get an appointment. So if you've done 18 months already, you're getting there. So just
Hang
be
in there.
patient. Be patient. You say?
I said, hang in there.
Yeah, just hang in there. Be patient with them. Your appointment is going to come soon. So fingers crossed. However, during this time that you're waiting, my suggestion, do other things,
Live
get
your life.
training in something or whatever. Start
Mhm.
learning the language. Just keep busy, while you're waiting for this appointment to show up. So that when one is not doing, if you're not doing something, you're not actively doing something, you might, just keep stressing you out that
Yeah.
all of this, but focus on something else. Just while you're waiting. In fact, we're still going to
Can
talk
I say
about
something?
this.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Okay.
Can I
We're
go?
going to. I want to say we're still going to talk about this in the area of managing the pressure that happens during this time, because that I can understand that a lot of time this whole waiting period can cause a strain in relationships. So we're still going to talk about how to manage that, and make the most of what we have. Okay. Sorry,
Can
you
I
wanted
say
to say
something?
something.
Yeah.
Yes, you can,
So
please.
concerning waiting times too, when you begin to think that your waiting time is beginning to take longer than it should be, I think that you should start going through your documents again. Start trying to check if there are any documents that are not correct or that you need to update, because most of the time, for people that don't have issues generally, like any other issue, maybe security or whatever, is the document that normally makes the waiting time to stay longer. Now
Yeah.
I'll use myself as an instance. When I went for the interview, I had checked and before I go on, watch videos. Please watch, follow up on people updates, go on their website, watch videos, and kind of get information for yourself. Don't wait. It's not like, I'm sorry, I don't know if I should be saying this, but it's not like in Nigeria where you have to be, as in most of the time we are fed information. Like, you have to look for the information yourself. So back to what I was saying, I found out that there was a particular, I saw on somebody's page a list that my husband needed to get, like list of things he needed to get. And we realized that there was one document there that he didn't have. Like I was not going to have before I went for the interview. However, he applied for the documents and was processing it while I went for the interview. When I went there, the lady that interviewed me told me, "Oh, I'm missing this document." I said, "Oh, yes, that's true." She now gave me a time limit where I can send those documents before I was able to get the visa. You get, because that, I mean, if we did not start the process of getting those documents before I went for the visa, I probably would have missed the timeline. And also, if for any reason you start perceiving, this my own is taking longer than necessary, just start cross-checking, dot your T, cross your T's, dot your I's and all of that, so that you would, at least you're prepared before, that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Can I
very, very good. You also said
also?
something earlier, Buki. You were talking about documents as well. So maybe you
Yeah.
can
So
keep it.
thank God we got here. So for me as well, I missed a document, and this was. Can I just say that first of all, when you're applying to Germany, apply whatever. I mean, whatever type of visa or whatever route you want to come through, you can always do things by yourself, right?
Mhm.
I just wanted to put that out there because so I had the list, I had everything, but however, I didn't add the um sworn affidavit of spinsterhood or something.
Mhm.
So and then I got there that morning. There are these people who are just like around who kind of like say, "Oh, I can help you." I can Don't answer them. Just mind your business. So somebody had checked and he saw that my documents were so complete. However, I didn't have that, and I don't know why I didn't have it. And actually I know why, but whatever you see on the website, just put it there. If it is then too much, I mean,
Give you back.
you are going to bring your documents back home, right? You can't over.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what happened. I didn't have that document. When I got there, the interviewer asked me, I said I didn't. And true what Chidima said, sorry, what Chineye said, that, they are very, there's this kind of thing that is common in Nigeria. If you're not doing something right, even if you're doing something right, people can bully you. There was no sense of somebody trying to bully you or insult you that you didn't bring your documents correctly, except
Mhm.
for that man at the entrance, yeah. But
Mm.
Paulinus.
But
Paulinus.
I tried so hard to remember his name.
The fear of Paulinus is the beginning
it's
of
the beginning
wisdom.
of wisdom.
So apart from that man, that's just the
Yeah.
initial whatever. When you go in, I think everything is normal. So the interviewer asked me, when do you think you'd be able to bring it? I said in a week. My interview was on a Tuesday. I said I could bring it by Friday. And then I don't know, maybe he just thought, oh, this one is not serious. He gave me a month to bring it. And in within that 1 month, I now went to do it and did the wrong thing. I was supposed
Ah.
to, yes, I was supposed to, it's supposed to be by the head of the family.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
Sure.
I did the swearing myself. I told my mom to sign instead of my mommy swearing and signing, and just my
Yeah.
passport that's needed. So it was supposed to be her swearing basically. So I now sent the wrong thing, and they needed something from my husband as well. I can't remember, which I also now included. So I sent that, but I guess that was why there was a delay. Remember, I said, so for me, my appointment, it was just 6 months. Exactly 6 months later, they sent me uh, I think 5 or 6 months,
Wow.
they sent me
Mhm.
appointment, an appointment email. So um, if because at the end of the day, when they really processed my visa, it was like maybe 3 months, 3 weeks or so. So if it had happened that my documents were complete and correct, I would have been in Germany in 7 months, for example. So
Mm.
they didn't process it even after I sent it, because I then now sent the wrong thing. Now,
Mm.
if you're like Gina said, you can start checking your documents if you don't hear from them on time, or you can call them. I call them. Whoa, I call
Yeah.
them. Shege. I call them. That you can always speak in English. There's the option to pick the English, whatever. I kept sending them mails. They didn't reply mails, but they will pick calls, and I'll tell them why. And then they will start telling me, some were, basically that, oh, it's not your time, it's not your time. I don't know if this was it. Also, my husband was kind of like sending mails as well.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
eventually, they called me from the embassy that one of my documents were missing, and that what I sent was incorrect. It wasn't properly done. That I should do it properly. And I think the lady explained to me, and then I went back to do it and submitted it. And like 3 weeks after, they sent me a mail to send my passport and all of that. Yeah.
Mm.
So it could be that if
Fantastic.
it's getting too late, you can send them mails. I doubt that they will reply. In my whole, I was showing you this evening my email, the labels that I created. The
Mhm.
only mails for there were two mails in this whole period of time.
Wow.
Emails. So no matter what I've sent to them, they will not answer. And it's already clearly
Answer.
written on the website. So
Mhm.
can I think I should mention that I keep saying you don't work with an agent, whether Nigerian or German.
Sorry.
Or if you do get to work, because some companies might offer, depending on where the spouse is working and all, they might offer an agent. Just make sure you also do your due diligence, because I think that not you can't be too prepared. So as somebody is helping
Mm-hmm.
you to prepare by yourself,
Sure.
easy, and always ask questions. Yeah, but
Yeah.
they will answer you
Cool.
definitely.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
Now
also
someone
wanted to
is
add something.
asking.
Okay.
Yes, please add.
Okay. The
Add,
waiting
please.
time
Add.
also. The waiting time also can also come from the spouse that is here in Germany. Like
Mm,
we can also be affected by that
that happened
because
to me as well.
yeah, when after the visa, one of the things, if you're not doing verification, one of the things that would keep, what the thing that's even keeping you is that they have to now come get your husband or wife, whoever is here, would have to send those things we talked about. Please try and verify and cross-check the list. I mean, we may not have details of what they are here. Those things to them from here to Nigerian to German embassy in Nigeria, and they
Mm.
will go through it, verify it by themselves, and send it back to, I think, the Houselander Behold. I can't remember. I really can't remember. And that's another way that delay can come in. Sometimes the city where you are, the Auslander Beholder, is not,
Maybe
either they are
slow.
not forthcoming, or that they have so many people to settle in that aspect. So there's always a delay. And if you know German system, they love manual paperwork and all of that. So there's
Mm.
a lot. You can't necessarily follow them up by calls. They'll still keep telling you the same thing. It's not yet time, just calm down, stuff like that. So also bear in mind that the waiting time can also come from that angle. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Can be.
Cool, cool. Thank you so much, guys. Another question from Lux. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, please. Ritzy. So please, can you help with the steps because I have not even submitted any documents, or is that the waiting stuff? Because he just only applied with my passport number.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the waiting time, yeah.
Yes. Basically, the first thing is to apply for an appointment. I wanted to say termine, but in Nigeria, still
Come back to
appointments. When
us.
when you get here, you will know. But basically, termine is appointment. So, when the first step is to book a meeting time. That's okay. Oh, Germany. Oh, I want to come and I'm applying for this, and then I want to come and um meet you people or whatever. I need a space to come and prove my documents or whatever, to come and prove myself that I'm
That's
going to.
the appointment that they will give you for the visa interview.
For the
Yeah.
Yes,
visa interview.
yes. So the first thing is to book. Then you will then get an email that will then tell you the dates they have given to you and the requirements. That's you fill an application form and all the list of documents that they'll give you. They'll give you a link to a Videx form. I don't know if it's included in that email or the link is sent where you click and all of that. They'll give you, you are going to fill a form, and then they'll give you a list of documents that you must bring along and how many copies and all of those things, how many copies, the documents they need,
Original, photocopy.
originals, yeah. And those info very, in fact, I was telling you recently that I gave them my baptismal form, my baptismal certificates rather, because it's actually a requirement that if you have anything like that, you can
Yeah.
also bring it here. So your date of your birth certificates, your proof of, which Chineke mentioned earlier, proof of marriage, for me, we had, so imagine that you get an appointment before you actually get married. You have not done anything legal, nothing. How will you prove that you're married? So that's why I said it's dicey. But if you have a plan already that, okay, within this time, if Germany takes 1 year or 2 years, and we know that we would have done this before 1 year, it's also fine. For instance, I went to the embassy. The interviewer, he asked me for my date of birth, and then I gave him. He asked me for my marriage date, and I gave him date of birth because I was just newly married. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was not used to it. The date I was used to was my date of birth. And then I
Yeah.
told him, oh, sorry. He told me to calm down and all of that. And then eventually I showed him my documents and all of that. Of which, so the documents they're asking for, because you have filled them in the form. So they have a copy as well. And they're asking
Yeah.
you for things
Very.
one by one to check and
Mhm.
cross check that you have them, right? They're going to be asking you questions about your spouse as well. And then he asked that, oh, is there going to be any what's it called, a traditional ceremony of church wedding,
Ceremony.
something like that, so I told him yes, and then he asked if he was invited. I said yes, provided he gives me visa.
Yeah.
So it's kind of really chill, but then they will ask you. So the first step is to book an appointment, then you get an email to tell the email would give you your dates and the required documents, and then you eventually go for the um appointment, the interview. You then wait for them to tell you to send your passports,
Passport.
and you either send it or bring it, and they'll stamp the visa and return it to you. It can be on your way.
So just so that I'm clear on something extra,
Hmm.
this email that they're going to send to you that will contain the list of documents you need to bring.
Yeah.
That email will come after you have, if, for example, you need to wait for 18 months, for example, for your visa appointment, it will come after that 18 months period.
Mhm.
It is when you receive the email, your waiting is technically over because when you
Coming
receive
to an
that
end.
email, they've given you, yes, they are now telling you that your date is so and so date, which often than not, the date will probably be like maybe say a month away or two
Mostly.
months away
Yeah.
or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so because I remember that and she also Ritzy asked the same question about her husband having filled the form. I mean, having made the appointment. So I definitely had to know that. And by now you have not gotten the mail. You only get this mail that contains the list of the things they expect you to come with after your when it is time for them to when your appointment dates,
You
they've
get
given
it?
you an
Yeah.
appointment date. It is in that email you get your appointment date, you get the list, and you get all of that. However, before that time, it is good that you start now to start looking for documents and all.
Yes.
So I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
guys can remember the list of documents you came with or that you went with.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll give you a few minutes to be thinking about it so you
No,
remember.
let me
Then,
tell
Well,
you,
it's
I
always
have a list
online.
here. But
Wow.
okay,
because I created a label,
very
like I
ready.
said,
Nice.
and can I say that I'm going to make it easier. So, um, you will see a list on my channel after today. After today.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I came with the list because, like I
Came
said,
prepared.
at some point I was so frustrated with this waiting thing. So I didn't know the day I just started to create labels and say, okay, in case they send it to me, I'll quickly receive it or something like that.
Yeah.
I waited just for 4 months after the interview, and it was like something else. I remember the day they called me to tell me that I didn't send the proper documents. I went to hug my colleague. I said, "Oh, thank God for me." I told her, I hugged her, proper hug. Oh. She was like, Kola, sorry, sorry. I was like, they didn't answer
Mm.
me for so long. Now they've called me. This is the issue. Thank God for me. Right. So
Yeah.
it was an emotional time. So I can't imagine people waiting for 1 year, 2 years. It is
That's why I
well.
say you cannot relate. So it's fine. It's fine.
Ah,
We
Honestly.
dealt with it, so it's
but it was
okay.
tough. Anywho, so but wait, can I ask you now, since you didn't get married before your interview, did you?
No,
Yeah,
no,
we
she
had
had
done the
gotten
court
married before
wedding.
the interview.
Well, the wedding was in two phases. We did the court wedding just
Yeah,
because of the document,
yes,
and
just like
later on
you.
he
Yeah.
came back and we did the
Yeah.
church wedding, and yeah.
So by the time you did church wedding, did you have to wait before your visa, before you
So
traveled?
the visa had already come out. The visa came
Oh,
out.
my
Yeah, the
elder
visa
sister,
came
we
out.
have Mary. Okay.
I think I had my interview the week after the elections in Nigeria. That
Oh,
was March, and the wedding was in August. Okay, it wasn't 6 weeks. It came out, yeah, it came out March, April, May, June. Okay, it came out after 12 weeks, not 6 weeks, 12 weeks. But then I had left because I was in Lagos. I had left Lagos to Port Harcourt. The visa was already out before I came for my wedding. So, I mean, it wasn't a long, that's why it was easier for me to return with him when immediately after the wedding we came back together. So like I said, it was just planning and I think God's favor because he made
mm,
all the plans to
yes,
just work
yes,
accordingly.
Word.
yes,
So
yes,
yeah.
yes. Let me just say, God, I'm also grateful because I didn't have to wait.
Yeah.
For too long.
Yeah, too long.
Very good.
The list.
So the
Okay,
So
list,
our list. our
This
list.
was what the so my husband's company had given him an agent to work with, and so this was sent to me in the email, but she also made a list. So this is her list, and that's what I want to read out. So they asked for the appointment confirmation. That's the email that I received. You print it out, and that will
Yeah,
be the first thing you put on the cover of all your documents, because
yeah,
that guy at the gate, if you
yeah.
don't
That
have
was
it,
one
or
of my
you
issues.
oh,
I didn't have it. So anyway, I think we are going to get there. Let me not interrupt.
okay.
Just continue.
That guy is that man or that daddy is something else. In case he's watching, sir. Okay. So your
We
One
lost.
appointment
second. Jane, I
confirmation.
can see your question. Just give us 1 minute. Once we are done with the list, I'll get to your question. So it doesn't
Okay.
look like I'm ignoring you, okay?
Okay.
Thank you for your patience.
Thanks
Okay,
for your
back to the
patience.
list.
Yeah, thanks for your patience. So appointment confirmation, the visa form, like I said, you have a link to a Videx form in that email where you
Mm.
fill some information, very long. Oh, you will fill your family members, the people you stay with, your close friends or whatever, things like that.
Mhm.
Your passport, copies of your data page. Uh, you're going to send your husband's data page as well. For me, I did that. Your preliminary residence confirmation from the foreigners department. What's that in Deutsch now? Okay.
Preliminary what?
Residence
Preliminary
confirmation.
residence confirmation.
I think it's
Maybe
just the residence with the residence permit.
That's from the Vona meltdowns.
Well, I think it's the
no, I
residence
think
permit
this is
because my
a
husband sent the
residence permit,
residence permit.
but at the time, I think my husband was new or relatively new in Germany. That's why his own was prelim. That's the what's it
Yeah.
called now? The one you have before the residence permit. Was it in Deutsch now?
I can't remember.
Forschungsbescheinigung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forschungsbescheinigung. Mhm.
So
Okay.
yeah, appointment confirmation for his resident because he was now going to go for his own. So, but that
Responsible.
was for my own case. For instance, if the husband already has it, he just needs to
Yeah,
present
my
the
husband just sent
residence
residence
permit.
permit. That was all.
Yes, that's it. With the husband's work
Okay.
contract, in my case, I came through family reunion to his skilled worker. So in that
Mm.
case, work contract, last three
Mhm.
pay slips, that one they can ask you, Taya. Um Bestätigung. That's your registration confirmation. Registration of what? I don't know.
I think it's
So
your city. The
what did
city.
you say?
The
The
city
city
Oh,
where you're
okay.
logging in.
registration.
Your registration
Oh
in the
yeah.
city.
Aha.
That's your spouse that is in Germany, or
Spouses.
their own city
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
registration.
yeah. Of which you will do to when you get here. Passport. That's biometric passport now. Your marriage certificate, proof of marriage certificate, uh, pictures,
Mm.
right? Your any of your school certificates, any of your maybe university certificates, NYSC, whatever, uh your university certificates, your yeah, any of those things. Now, the part of the baptism certificate, they were asking for vaccination certificates, um
If
baptism certificates.
available.
It could be any of this, doesn't have to be all. Your biometric documents like your voter's ID or driver's license, something like that. I guess maybe they just want to have something that another form of ID that is different from your international passport. Maybe
International.
just want to confirm that this person is truly this person on all levels. Yeah, the questionnaire. Because there's a questionnaire in the form as well. I don't know if you remember. Yeah,
Yeah,
you fill
there
the
is.
questionnaire as well. I think that's
Mm.
all. The yeah, if one of your parents are dead, you would need a certificate that one of them, one of
Yeah,
them.
death certificate. Yeah.
Mhm. Photos of wedding ceremony and all of that. Yeah, a prepaid courier envelope. That's the envelope they'll send your
Yeah.
visa back
Document.
to. Yeah, and then I think I mentioned pictures already.
Yeah.
Proof
Yes.
And
of the
cash.
wedding, yeah.
Cash.
And cash, yes, that's yeah.
500
Please.
or 1,000 naira.
Yes,
Only.
yes.
Anything
Yeah.
outside that, you would have to go back. And so I think for me, my own was very tricky. It was after the election. And I don't know if you can remember. I mean, you guys were already here. So back in Nigeria, there
Yeah,
was
with the
no
whole
cash.
change of notes,
Both
ba.
10 naira, 100, there was no. cash.
Mm.
So I had to start. That's the function of, or the beauty of preparing ahead, or finding information for yourself ahead. So when I saw that, I had to start looking for cash, gathering cash. Like, please, I need 500 naira up to so far amount. I'll keep. I kept
Mm,
doing that until the money was complete. Thankfully,
Mm.
I had help. I mean, people like that helped me to get cash. And yeah, one other thing I wanted to say is that when you're going for this interview, please dress your best. I mean, it came as an inspiration
Mm.
to me, and that's
mm,
why I said I didn't have that first document you mentioned, Bookie, proof
Yeah,
of
that's the proof.
um,
Yeah, confirmation of your appointment.
confirmation of the appointment. I didn't
Yeah.
have it at all. And I couldn't
Mm.
go back. I got there around past 5 a.m. So, and there
mm,
was nowhere open to photocopy, print, whatever. I didn't have that. I mean, I wouldn't say I will not owe it to just my dressing. I mean, God's favor was there.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you saw me, even me, when I saw myself, I was so proud. You could there's some, I mean, dress your best, look very confident. Because if you look like someone that, I don't know, sir, I don't know, should I come in? I mean, you have to be put on your best of everything, because it's
mm.
part of the
They should know that
for me. Oh,
you're not going to beg money or something.
exactly, it's part of the
Yeah.
That you're
requirements. You
all
have
right.
to be at your best. Yeah. So
So
Yes. Yeah.
that's actually very good advice. It's not only for
Yes.
union visa, for every visa,
Yeah.
you need to go
Yeah.
confident. You need to know,
true.
you need to
Yeah.
go like because to be honest, you're doing the country a favor by being here.
Exactly.
You're bringing in
Mhm.
expertise, you're bringing in money, and
Yeah.
so go with that mindset and come like that. So that things like that. But thanks, this is really really
Can I
good.
add
Looks,
something?
please add.
Okay, thank you. So the look your best part also did something for me because I saw how that Mr. Paulinus was treating people. In fact, there was a woman who looked like a regular customer. I don't know. And he
Mhm.
knew her, but he still didn't because the way they were having conversation. But he still, I saw old women, maybe mother, grandmas who want to go and meet their children.
Mhm.
I saw how he was treating them. He was just doing anyhow. There were people. He was just doing anyhow, basically. But for me, I tried to look my best. So I think because at some point it was like that lady in blue. So it was not. I wore a
Mhm.
dress. It was no longer about first come first service because when you come in, they kind of like sit you down. So it wasn't like one after the other.
It's an arrangement.
And so I think he will just maybe pick you or you say, oh yeah, time. Sometimes it told some people to it told some people
I
to
have
come,
the fair
tell
share.
them to go back again.
Yeah.
Chai.
That kind of thing. And he pointed me out. And I'm like, "Ah, is it me?" He said, oh, it's not you. Then he
Mhm.
left it again. And then he still called me back. And when I got to him, because I think he'll do like a pre-check. I
Yeah.
don't
Mm,
know if he asked for one document. He looked, he didn't see anything to say. He just couldn't he just couldn't
Mhm.
say anything. So he was just there like, okay, go, that kind of thing. So for
mm-hmm.
me, I didn't have any bad experience with him personally, but I saw how how he was with others. So yeah, dressing good and the favor of God is
Yeah.
key.
Cool. Very, very important. Tobe said, look your best parts. It's very, very important.
Yeah.
Tobe, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you to
Oh,
be.
Respect.
okay. Meanwhile, Buki
Is
has
that
a
your husband?
Tobe. No, no.
No, not your own husband. China's husband.
Okay, no, no,
No.
no, no. It's
Okay.
not. It's
Hello,
just
Tobe.
it's a friend of mine. Tobe is the PhD
Dr.
guy that was in
Tobe.
the last video.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Oh,
doctor.
hi.
Our
Yeah, we've been
incoming
talking
doctor.
today.
Incoming Dr.
Yeah,
Tobe.
yeah,
Yeah.
Cool. So Buki has a few videos on her channel on family reunion. So you can also check that out as well. And in that video, she has said now that she will put a list. She'll put this list on that video after this live or maybe tomorrow or something. So we can also check that out. So there she's taking time to explain things as well. Okay. Let me get to our questions are plenty. Oh. We will attend to as much as
There
possible.
was somebody that you told to wait or
Jane,
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jane, I hope you're still here. Jane said, please tell me if there's an Ausbildung for beauty or fitness stuff. I don't like nursing, my dear. Plenty of people don't like nursing. Nursing is stressful. It's a lot of stress.
Mm.
But like we said in other Ausbildung video that we did, there's Ausbildung for everything.
Everything.
Everything. So yes, if you go to the Ausbildung site, you will see Ausbildung. There's Ausbildung for makeup, or there's Ausbildung
Mm-hmm.
for making
Mm-hmm.
hair, or sewing club,
Carpentry. Yeah,
everything.
painting. Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot.
everything you'll find. So just take your time to go through. I'm sorry, I don't know what I ate, so I'm just gassing. I'm just I've just been belching so much. I'm sorry. Okay, so go through the site. If you check on the, I did a live with Success, and we had talked about Ausbildung in Germany and all
Very
the things about
informative.
Ausbildung in Germany. So
Very,
you can
very
see
informative.
that video. It was very, very helpful. And on the description page, the description box of the video, I also included a link to the Ausbildung, to the site where you can search for Ausbildung programs, because Success had provided that link as well. So that you can do. You can also go to her own page. So if you check on my video, on my live video, you'll see the live I did with Success. You can also go to Success's own YouTube page, because she has a YouTube page as well, and she has a lot of videos on Ausbildung, a lot.
Hospital.
So
Yeah.
I have not done Ausbildung, so I don't really know how it works in totality, but she has done Ausbildung, and she has a lot of information on it. So you can check her on YouTube. Her name is Miss Allery, Msalari. Let me just write it on the comments, so you can you can also check her out. She has lots of stuff, so please, Miss Allery. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. Next question is, you're welcome, John. You're welcome. Someone said, if you can braid, can you make a lot of money?
A lot.
A lot is relative.
Lot. Yeah, it's relative.
A lot is relative. It depends
But
if you're doing it as a full-time business, or if
yeah,
you're doing it as something on the side. There are a lot
true.
of Afro shops that are making a
People
lot of money,
making. Mhm.
braiding and doing all kinds of stuff. That's because it's a full-time business. So yes, they can make decent amount of money. I don't know what a
You
lot
can also
is.
do it as if you're a student, for instance, or even if you came through family reunion visa, you can make some more money on this side
On
before
the
you come
side, if
here.
you're doing on the side, there are plenty
Yeah,
people like
You
us, all
definitely
of us, we are
make
looking for
money.
people that will make hair for us. Because these Afro shops,
exactly.
they want to run
That's
it.
Just
how it.
finish us.
They want to finish my body, these people.
But when the person says a lot, I don't know if the person thinks that the lot is equivalent to oil money. I don't think that is it. Because when you mean a lot, when you put a lot, the person is intentional about that a lot.
That
So
a
I'm
lot.
not sure you're going
But
to make that a lot of money. Yeah.
But you can of course make decent money depending on what you're doing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you're running as a proper business, let's say you have a shop, you're selling
Hair
product as
product.
well and other stuff, you make money. Even if you don't have a shop, if you're probably doing it in your house, because I know a few people as well who do their own stuff in their houses,
Mm-hmm.
and they are making hair for people, for their friends, for their neighbors,
Yeah.
and things like that. Yes, and they're making their money. They're also selling products to the customers who come to make their hair with them as well. So people do this, you can do it on the side and you're making decent money for yourself. Let me tell you, this braid, this thing I'm carrying on my head, I paid 120 euros to make it.
Ooh.
120
Mm.
euros.
Well, yes, can cost
So
that much.
let me just give you perspective. But
They
that's
make
not to say
money. They make
some
so
people
much
charge
money.
everywhere, or some places it's not this expensive. Where I was living before in Wuppertal, this would have cost me about 70 euros to make. So it depends
Really?
on where you are, the city you're living in, and all those kinds
Mm-hmm.
of things. But
Maybe this
yes,
person wants to come to Germany solely to make hair. You don't know.
So
I
you have
don't
to.
know. If
There's
you're coming,
Ausbildung
yes, that's what I was going to say. If
for
you're coming solely to
friseur.
For
make hair,
Yeah.
there's
African hair
Ausbildung
order,
for, yes, there's
Friseur. I
Ausbildung
mean, you
for
can.
hairdressers. Because
Yeah.
you cannot just go and open a shop
Pizzorin,
for
a bit
that
Pizzora,
you have they
exactly.
are making hair. You
Yeah,
cannot just go and open a shop
I
just
know that
randomly.
there's Ausbildung for free, but it's mainly I don't know what they teach them there. Do they teach them how to do African hair, how to do kinking braids?
I
When
think
you
that this
reach there,
person
you're
asking
gonna
already
when you
knows how
reach
to
there,
make hair.
you're gonna know.
Well,
I think
oh,
that this
okay,
person
true.
asking
That's
already
true.
knows how to make the hair, but you
That's
need some
true.
Yeah,
kind
Then
of
you learn the
certification.
Igbo one.
Yeah,
yeah,
certification or something. I think that's why the house building
You make
yes,
programs
money and pay the
apply.
tax. If
Yeah,
that
exactly,
exactly.
okay, so
exactly,
God is gonna
exactly.
help you in that.
Because I know when I was making my hair, I was talking to the lady who was making the hair, and I was asking her because she doesn't have her own shop. She's collaborating with someone else who has a shop,
Okay.
and
That's
then
what most people
she's
do.
like working in the person's shop and
And paying
making
a
hair.
commission.
Yeah, so they have some sort of arrangement. She's making hair and she's paying the person something. I don't know, just some that kind of arrangement, which happens all over the world anyway. It happens in Nigeria as well.
Mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm.
and then I was asking her why does she not have her own shop, and then she told me that you can't just open a shop for
Yeah.
these things. You have to have your certificate. And so if you are in Nigeria, for example, and you already have a certificate from a recognized institution, that can work. That can work. Actually, by next week, I'm going to be going live with someone who's going to be talking about moving to Germany with AI. And with that, they're talking about people
Mm,
who come to Germany as like painters, like drivers, like
yeah.
all of these people. Yeah. And the
Mm.
initial discussion we talked about,
Artisan.
they talked about if
Yeah.
you have your qualification
The
from a
handle.
recognized institution, some of these things you
Mm.
can already avoid them. But if you don't, which is usually the case for most of us that do handwork from Nigeria, for example, or Ghana, or these other
African
countries,
countries. Mm.
yes, most often than not, we don't learn these things in proper school, or they'll give you a certificate or something. You usually maybe you go and learn in somebody's shop, and then
Mm.
they'll give you just normal things that they'll print and stuff like that. So you
Yeah.
can also come and you can do an Ausbildung in it. It will take a couple. I think it take a couple of years to be done with the Ausbildung. Maybe I think 2 or 3 years or so.
3 years.
Of course, during the hospital, you'll be paid, you'll be making some money from it as well. And then when you're done with the hospital, you can decide to go and open your own business, open your own shop, and do it properly. In fact, I'm looking forward to going to Afro shops that are so beautiful, that
Yeah.
are not just shabby looking Afro shops, that are
Attachments.
really,
Yeah.
yes, that are really looking beautiful. I saw one online the other day,
Mm.
beautiful Afro shop. I say,
Yeah.
if I go here and these people charge me like 200 euros, I will not feel bad. I will pay happily, you
Do you mean
know?
Mm.
salons or
Yeah, a salon, like a proper salon, proper Afro
Wow.
salon. It was mainly just for Afro hair. And
Wow.
it's so
there's
beautiful.
one
Yeah.
honorable man. I don't
Yeah.
know. Beautiful is relative in this case now, but you have to visit it first to see.
To see, but this one was looking. When you go to some of these salons here, that's not for the regular
Oh,
salons
I
here. See
see.
how beautiful they look. That is when the
Yeah.
salon
Yeah, I'm
Mm.
yet to
looks
come here.
beautiful. Okay, we have spent a lot of time on
Like,
on house building. Hans, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Kind compliments. What again? Um, Lutz said, I'm enjoying this, but please, can I continue the A1 certificate exam? Because that's my fear. I've written this before, it didn't work, and I'm writing it again next month, but I'm scared. Okay, before you guys go into the question, let me just first add this. Like we said previously, depending on the visa that your husband has. If your husband has a blue card, you don't need to write A1 exam. You will be fine. However, if your husband doesn't have a blue card, you will have to write the A1 exam, unfortunately, because they will need to see that result as part of the things that will qualify you to have your own visa. So these are the only two options that are available. But I would say not to be afraid of A1. I promise you, A1 is not complicated. It is scary, I understand, because this German is, I'm going through a lot with this German. This German is showing me shaking. I have been struggling. I struggled with A1. I struggled. So, but a lot of people will tell you that it's not as difficult. But I promise you, you can do it. Don't be too scared. There are lots of tools that can help you, practice. That can help you get ready. Buki is the expert in this department. Let her put her forth.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say that A1, she already said it. A1 is not is the least. So you need to be thinking about more serious things, okay? um I have a playlist on German language on my page. The kind of resources you would need, you get them there, where to get these resources, how to learn fast. Those are kind of videos I've put up. I want to say why they'll probably ask you for language questions. They are just trying to see if you're ready to you're ready for the life
Enthusiastic.
you say you
Mhm.
want to go and live there. You're ready to mix or integrate or whatever. So they won't start asking you now that what is the past tense of whatever in at the interview.
Exactly.
That
Mhm.
they will ask you things like what's your name, or
So,
spell your name with the German alphabet. Tell them your phone number with the German alphabet.
mhm.
Actually, even though I didn't have to prove language, the guy spoke
They still
German.
asked. Yeah.
The interviewer spoke German to me, and remember I said I'd been doing some, language classes. I could, kind of like at the time I could pick out some things he was saying. So he asked if I could speak Deutsch, and I said, no, not really. And he said, no problem, but you really need it. And of course, you really need it. So the more you learn it, the better you are with it, even in the foundations in Nigeria, the better it is for you to quickly learn here. It's not when you now start integration class, for instance, or start going to a German class proper. They'll teach you in German. How would you have to kind of
Mhm.
like acquaint yourself with the language. So don't be scared. Since you have done it before, you just kind of know the places where you feel like you're not doing well to be able to pass the exam. But for the interview, it's not going to be a lot. Trust me, they're not going to ask you to come and conjugate verbs.
Mhm.
It's just simple questions, and to be able to know that you understand whatever it is they're asking you, don't be scared.
Can I
Ifinere, do you
add
have
something?
any
Yeah, so I
anything
think I
to
have an experience with her question. I didn't also pass my A1 the first time I wrote it in Nigeria. So I started learning A1 from when I was doing my NYSC. And I don't know, my NYSC was so busy. I didn't really have so much time. I mean, I'm not going to also just leave the responsibility to my business. It was a totally new language. In
Yeah,
fact,
an
I have
adult,
not.
it's not
I'm not
easy.
even done. I'm not done learning my own mother tongue, And I was being introduced to another language, and it was a virtual. Just like she said, I also used the Goethe online virtual classes, and it was really not sufficient. And that was all I depended on. I didn't have an idea.
Yeah.
So when it came to the exam, yeah, it was getting interesting because, oh, this is nice and all. But when it comes to the exam, you need to prove a lot more of those things. And I feel that, just like Buki said, there's no need to fear. You have to understand your graphs. What is it in the language? Just like we talk about IELTS, that's the same way the language is, the four
Yeah.
parts. You understand your graphs. Am I better with the speaking, the writing, those areas, that I identified areas that are difficult for you, then you focus on those areas, not neglecting your strengths, and if you must, and if you can also engage the the services of a private coach. That's what my husband at the time did for me. And he's like, I know that the language is a lot, and it's even a lot for you to decide to want to stay here because you have to speak the language. You're a skilled worker, you must learn the language, so you have to know the basis. So he engaged the services of a private tutor, and she actually saw me through. And the next exam, I was shocked at my results. I mean,
Ah,
I know that I put in a lot more work, to be honest, but I was shocked at the result because even in the exam, it was a lot more easier. I mean, so there's no need to fear. Here in
no,
Germany, they don't see A1 as a level. They don't consider A1 as, I'm going to
that's
language school. What
true.
level A1? Oh, okay. They don't see that you're going to language school when you are doing A1. That's the truth. In
Yeah,
fact, they
that's
see that you're still learning the language from B level.
yes.
So just see
Yes.
it as that, like it's A1, normal, just regular stuff. And by the time you put it under the fear, I think you overcome it. So there's no need to fear. Yeah.
Good. So I hope that this has been helpful, Rate. Don't fear. Go. Just like and Bookie on Bookie's channel as well. She has a lot of resources on learning the
Yeah.
language and stuff. So please check it out. It's very, very, very helpful. She has gone through all this thing.
Levels.
She's our elder
Professor.
in this language thing. So so she can help you with all the tips.
Yeah.
But try. You can get apps that you can be using to be practicing daily, be listening to stuff. People say you can listen to children stories in German
Cartoons.
and
Yeah.
just and do it every day. As you see the way I'm giving advice, I've not finished advising myself in how to learn it. But don't listen to me. Do what I say, not what I do. My case is very different because I didn't need German to come to Germany
Yeah.
because I came to study. So it was a completely different situation. But in your case, don't worry, you'll be fine. You'll be good. Just do all of these things. You'll be okay. Okay, next question. Okay, Prosper Opute said, okay, I listened to a video interview on Deutsche Welle where the Deputy Consul General Gerald Wolf, German Consulate Lagos, promised that the issue of delay will improve in 2025. According to him, they are providing more application windows, processing visas in Germany, and making use of external providers. Do you
Super.
have any updates on this, especially with the launch of the digital visa portal for some categories? Thank you. Okay, so in terms of updates for visa dates, to be fair, in the last couple of, let's say, two months since January, there has been a considerable increase in the speed for visa appointments. So it has been moving a lot quicker than it was the last year or the last couple of years. So I would say that okay, what they have been promising seems to be gaining grounds. In terms of the digital visa portal, it's pretty new, so a lot of things are still in the beginning
Yeah.
phases. We have not really as far as I know so far, I've not heard of somebody who got their visa appointment through the visa portal so far. I know people who have been, the backlogs that they're still trying to take care of, they're still trying to catch up on. But I know that with all the plans that they have, or at least from the beginning of the year, they've told us a lot about trying to go digital on a lot of things and make a lot of things a lot more smoother. We're hoping that this reflects. We are seeing the reflection at least so far. We're hoping that it gets better. However, for the family reunion visa, I don't know if this has really shown up in this case. I've seen it a lot in the student visas, the guys who have been waiting for student visas. For family reunion, I've not seen quite much yet. Maybe because I don't know a lot of I don't let me say my volume of people I know doing family reunion. Maybe
And
it's not that
students.
much, yes, for me to know. But there's so many people I know who are students who are trying to get visas. So I guess that's why in my radar it seems to be a lot more. But at least on the general, I will say that the visa date seems to be moving forward now. So let's keep fingers crossed that these
I
things
saw
are.
I saw something online. I mean, a person would have to try it. So on the website, and they're saying that what type of visas you can apply for online.
Mm.
So you can apply for study, employment, work experience, skilled worker, as an academic, blue card, opportunity card. Uh, I did not see anything family reunion, but these are the ones that you can apply for online. They said all other ones must be submitted in paper form.
Mm.
So
Okay. So That's where we are. That's where we are. In this Germany, everything takes time. They'll tell you that this one, so that everything, every single
Process,
thing takes
process.
time.
Everything is a process.
Everything takes time. Yeah. Even this
Yeah.
digital thing, it will take some time. I'm even surprised that some things have started moving. In fact, because my sister went through the website recently for the digital one, and some things seems to look like, boy, yeah, it is working. I'm shocked. To be honest, I'm shocked that that's the case, but it is what it is. Okay, please book your link. Bookie, can you please
Yeah.
write your YouTube?
Yeah, I can, but it's telling me to connect my YouTube account first. So that's why I just took a pause. So
Don't
let me
worry. Let
just
me just copy. Let me
oh,
copy
okay.
yours. 1 minute. Let me open the YouTube thingy. Moments. 1 minute, guys. Let me just find
Oh,
Bookie's.
now I can.
Okay.
So I've done that. That should go there now. That's the particular playlist for the German language. So obviously you can see the channel from there too. Is
Okay.
that
Cool.
okay? Okay.
Yes. That works. Chineye, please. You can also copy your. You can also send us your own channel link as well, so that people can also connect
Okay.
with you on your channel. Okay. Da, da, da. Praise Onanuga. Hi, good evening to you too. Bookie, please can we have a channel link? Okay, yes. Bookie's channel link now is on the page. Is on the page, and she has also put on the page. It's on the chat. She's also put the link to the playlist on learning German and all that stuff. Hi, Lucan Mary. Hi, good
Oh,
evening.
hi. Yeah. She also came to
Hans.
family reunion visa, so she can
Uh,
relate. She
yeah.
came a few months before me.
Oh, nice, nice.
Hello. Thanks
Hello,
for
hello.
joining. Yeah.
Hansman said, why do you people like moving to Germany? What is the minimum wage in Germany? Here in Austria, the minimum wage is 2.5, which is nothing. Me, I don't know. Me, I don't know. I
Wait.
don't know. Me, I did not choose Germany. Oh, it's man that carried me to this country. It's man. I was on my
I
own
think
peaceful. They said,
I
let's
think
be
safe
going.
to say that I can say that too. It's man I came to meet. Okay. But anyway, we
So
find ourselves are good.
we didn't know. We didn't know why. But I
Yeah,
think a
put
lot of
my
people
link
are come.
there.
Yeah, sorry, say?
I put the link there
Okay.
via
Oh,
the chat.
okay, super. Super, thank you. But I think that the reason why a lot of people are moving to Germany now is probably because of the economy. Well, although the German economy is going through a lot now, but the German economy is still one of the strongest economies in Europe. So that I think is a strong reason, can be a strong reason why people come here. And for a lot of other reasons, like labor laws. I don't know what labor laws are like in Austria, but in Germany, they are not joking with their labor laws. They are serious.
Yeah.
So workers are really protected. There's so many benefits that workers get. Health insurance here is great. It's fantastic. So a lot of these things, of course, I know that in these other countries as well, they have their own great stuff that they do. But we can only talk about the thing that we are doing. Well, we can only talk about what is happening
Yeah.
in the that we are living in. But when people ask me why should I come to Germany, this is always what I tell them. The economy is great. The labor laws are fantastic, which is very, very important. When you are looking for where to stay, you need to stay where they will not wake up tomorrow morning and say, come and be going home. Come and be going, I'll sack you, something like that. It
Mm.
cannot happen here. There's a process to all of these things. Work-life balance is fantastic. So a lot of these things are the reason why a lot of people want to come to Europe in general, not just Germany. I think a lot of European
Europe.
countries,
Yeah.
yes, these things are a lot better as compared to when you say countries like say America, UK, Canada, and things like that. Okay. We have spent 1 hour 30 minutes. We have to end it. You have to come to an end. We didn't even attend to a lot of the questions that I have, so we're just going to just wrap it up, and maybe some other time we can get back to some of these questions in another live. Before we leave, let me just hold you guys for another another 5 minutes. I want to talk about dealing with the time, dealing with the waiting time, the emotional pressure, the stress, all of these things. What advice would you guys give to people who are waiting, especially people like Rita, who have been waiting for such a long time? So what would be your advice for these people? Let's start with Chile.
Okay, well, I think you had mentioned it earlier. Still live your life. I mean, practically live your life. There is really nothing that's stopping you from being like doing what you want to do. And another thing, talking about the future, I think that you can start doing a lot of research. I mean, when you're coming to Germany, you have plans. So when you come here, what are your plans? Are you planning to do school? Are you planning to do house building? What's your exact plan? Are you already a skilled worker, a professional worker? You're just going to transit and start working here, just have those things written down. And if you have plans to say work or do stuff here, I think that you should also start having some certifications. From what I have understood, there are a lot of and when I mean certification, not just random certifications that you have to confirm. I mean, there may be no exact way to know if it is very standard to be accepted, but when you compare it with the general standards, I think that you should say, for instance, you're a nurse and you've just finished from school. I think that you can do certifications like ALS, BLS, like certifications that when you come here and you want to do any house building or vital building, it's easier for you to, integrate, find the niche wherever you want to be in, I mean, per work, and do that. If you are a lady, I think you should start learning skills for yourself. Learn how to make your hair, please. Learn how to sew your clothes. Learn how to do your makeup. These things, you will pay money for them. You will pay.
Big
And
money.
if you're somebody that loves to change your hair, say you wear wigs, learn how to install your wigs. These little things that you pay people for in Nigeria, please learn it because it's going to save you a lot. A lot of people here cannot do basic things. I mean, you see somebody looking like they're just coming to Germany when they've stayed here for a while because they've not had time to learn some things for themselves, and they have to depend on someone else. So this little thing, learn how to cook African food, because when you come here, I don't know what you're going to be eating. I mean, it's you definitely find what to eat, but it's easier for you to learn basic things. I mean, we are a woke generation, but be woke in yourself before you come, so
I
that it's
love
easier. Yeah. I think I'll just stay there so that because you don't have so much time.
I love it. Be walking yourself. Yeah, everything Janae has said, I agree. The food part got me because in UK or US you can easily find like African
Other
restaurants,
Afro food, yeah, not here,
other Afro
not so
food.
much.
But here in Germany, maybe in places like Berlin, maybe you can also find it easier. But yeah, somewhere here,
It's
or maybe
expensive.
a more remote place. Yeah, it's also expensive. It's
Mm.
gonna be difficult. So I mean, just watch YouTube and learn to do something. Um, Talking about the pressure, everything Chine said, um, do something with the time. I think having a mindset that's gonna take some time would help
Mhm.
as opposed to thinking it will be short and then it takes long. So
So,
um have a mindset that's going to take 22 months at least from what I hear now. Have a mindset, learn things, have a plan, what am I doing? What would I like to do? Start something already, in that regard. Also, think of what's relevant in Germany and see if
mhm,
you're flexible enough to want to, put yourself in that mix as well. Because, especially if you're coming for family reunion or whatever type of visa, I think you need there will be a shock first that will hit you,
mhm,
so also you would need community, so try to
mhm,
like don't just be by yourself when you get here. Try to like you know um have a plan, I don't know, but try to like be on the lookout for community. So that pressure. Also, the thing, what I would like to say about families who are trying family reunion, maybe both of them are still in Nigeria and they now want to, come for a better life, something like that, whatever works. If you are I don't know if this would be nice to say, it's nothing bad, but I feel like let the Lord lead you, basically, because you don't want to come here and then things change and you kind of regret,
Mhm.
and say, why did I come here? That's not to say that things are not good here. I mean, we're not regretting that we're here, but let it be for a particular reason, not just because everybody's moving and now I want to move. Also, if you then decide that you want to move, it's gonna just bear in mind that it's gonna take time. If you cannot come with your family immediately, be prepared. Some families are married for like what, maybe 5, 10 years,
5 years.
and then they now get to separate for a while during that period of waiting. Maybe one of the spouses move here first, and there's that time when they have to wait. That can be a lot for them. Maybe for new couples, in my case, I didn't even find it easy, not to now talk of couples with,
Mhm.
children and all of that it might take. So just have that mindset. Just know that you're going to be starting things all over. In Nigeria, you'll have a level of security. You're a bit established. You need to have the mindset that it's new. You're going to be living in a smaller space. You're going to
Mhm.
be
Very important though. The toilet is not plain. It's only one toilet. One.
yes, so
It's not like Nigeria
So
where you will say toilet here,
every
toilet
room
every
has
there.
every
toilet.
room is so yeah,
Exactly.
so those are the kind of like cultural shocks and changes that might affect you, but then it gets better. But
Yeah.
just know that and be ready to give that all in that beginning stage.
Mhm.
I think that's it for families who want to relocate. So either maybe if one of them want to go to school and will now decide to bring their family, in this case, you're not working yet. You can reunite with your family as a student, but I don't know what the criteria exactly is. But it might still be something different as opposed to when the person already has a work contract or something. So yeah, just let the Lord lead you basically.
Cool. Yes, as a student, you can bring your family over,
Yeah.
but not on your student visa. You will have to get
Mm.
a job. You can be studying, and then you get a job, and you can change your
A
student
student
visa
job or a
to a
proper
work visa, not a
Mm.
student job or a full-time job.
Wow.
Because before now, students could not get full-time jobs, but
Mhm.
now students can apply to get full-time jobs. So
Mm.
you can get a full-time job, you can switch your visa, and then you can bring your family over. But you cannot bring your family over on a student visa. That's one that cannot
Mm.
work. And to wrap this all up, I want to chip this in.
Okay.
While you're waiting, be patient. Be patient with yourself. Be
Mm.
patient with your spouse. Because this is the time that all kinds
Mm.
of ridiculous problems will be coming up. People will quarrel for
Relationship.
nonsense things. And that's
Mhm.
just because it's the pressure of, the distance that's between you guys. So
Oh, long
think about
distance. Okay.
yeah. So think about it and be conscious about it when you are quarreling, when you are say, just know, don't tell yourself. You tell yourself, calm
Patience.
down, calm
Patience.
Patient.
down.
And the
I have.
spouse who is abroad
I,
should be aside from patience, should just be, I think both of you should be an encourager for each other because
yeah.
there were times I'll just come out and start crying. Why have they not
Right?
given me my visa?
You cried. You cried.
I cried.
I don't
Bookie,
understand.
cry is not far from
What
us.
do I cry for?
Jesus. So within long distance, you now got married, you're now telling me that I cannot, I will have to wait.
Yeah.
And that short period of not knowing what was happening was a lot for
Yeah.
me. So
So I
he
want
would
to
just
just add
encourage me and
something.
tell me that
Yeah,
you
little.
get it. Don't worry, don't worry. And when I got it, I was still crying.
Oh my
Your case
god.
is special.
Oh my
Okay, so
god.
I wanted to say something very briefly. I think that another thing you can do is if you know where you're going to, try to watch a lot of videos about there. If you're going to Berlin, if you're going to wherever, try to. For me, I did a lot. I watch a lot of videos about the airport because I've heard that the airport. I used to think that I'll come alone. So I used to watch a lot of airports thankfully, when people do a lot of vlogs, it's easier. So I already knew the airport, what it's going to look like, how it's going. So it wasn't necessarily new and strange for me. So try to familiarize yourself with some things. I was not really good at that, with that concerning maybe where I was living and all. But you see the airport, because I had a lot of stories. I had a lot of stories that you can get missing, you can miss out or something, miss your
Mm,
luggage, or maybe you're waiting, you're connecting flight and all of that. So I just wanted to be really ready. So if you can, familiarize
mm,
yourself with places, things, and whatever it is. Watch a lot of videos. Read. Please, we don't read a lot. So if you can read more, not just
mm,
watching videos, read. There are really a lot of information. Germans put information inside text much more than
mm.
pictures and videos. So try to read, yeah.
Fantastic. Lukman Mary said she waited for 1 year before she got appointment. Oh God, people are going through a lot. And then our visa approval took 3 months. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Um, Ebitari says waiting for appointment is now 1 year, 8 months. It's premium, my dear. It is oh Lord.
God, I
It is really it is really premium tiers.
Let me book enough
But
time for you people.
I'm telling you, it's a lot. But in the end, it
Yeah,
is worth it.
it's
All
worth
the
it.
wait is worth it. By the time you eventually move here and you're able to then settle in with your family, you will forget all the waiting time that you
sharp,
and the
sharp.
Mhm.
waiting wahala. Yes, to just be a thing of the past. So let's just be consoled by that. Yes, Salako said Reddit is a good page. Yes, Reddit is also a good place to see lots and lots of information. If you just write one, you will see. Or people say a lot on Reddit. There are a lot of information that you can get there. So before I let you guys go, just tell us briefly because you both have YouTube channels as well. So just tell us briefly where to find you people so that we can also go to your pages and bombard you on your pages. All right. So let's
Okay.
start with booking.
Okay. Yeah, but I already sent the link. You can find me at the Bukola Kadri channel on YouTube. Um, on Instagram, the Mrs. K. I have another handle which is the Nigerian in Germany. The same thing on TikTok as well. The Nigerian in Germany or that Nigerian in Germany. Or you've also find links to all these Instagram pages on my YouTube as well. Yeah.
Cool. And Chine.
Okay, you would find me at the lady at his feet. It's we don't do anything about Germany or Deutsch,
This is
but we
spiritual
are
people. They are people that are taking us to the Lord.
we are a Christian community and we, grow ourselves. So you find me at the lady at his feet on YouTube, and on YouTube you also find the links to other of my my pages on Instagram. Instagram is also the lady at his feet, and you can also find me at Inen Girl Chine Humphrey. Also on TikTok, the lady at his feet. On Facebook, the lady at his feet. So yeah, you're welcome
Fantastic.
to join us. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. I also put the
Thank you.
links to their channels on the description of this video, so you can also just click on it and go to their pages. But thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate your time. Thank you. And guys, thank you for being here. We had about 30 people at some point on this live. Thank
Wow.
you. I appreciate it. So I'll see you guys next week. I will bring other people to come talk to us again. Until next time.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.